the Mission Valley Environthon presentation of the Quivira National Wildlife Refuge and the local community and water rights group. Today we will provide you with overview of the problem and explanation of the wetland and community position and provide you with our potential solution. This area sits atop the High Plains Aquifer. Irrigation in this area has risen, which has caused Rattlesnake Creek to have lower water levels. By 1980, the decrease was so extreme that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife became concerned and they began to study the problem to find a solution. By 2013, no solution had been found, and the U.S. FWS filed a complaint with the KDA for impairment of their senior water right. Local stakeholders, including Groundwater Management District 5, started to work to find a solution, but a plan for a local enhanced management area failed to be approved by the state. In 2019, Kansas Chief Engineer David Barfield ruled that senior water rights of that refuge were significantly impaired, and junior water right holders were to reduce the amount of water they were pumping to restore full allocation of the senior water right. This was supposed to take effect at the beginning of 2020, but congressional input has caused the order to be postponed. Colby will now explain the background of the Quivira National Wildlife Refuge.
In 1955, the United States Fish and Wildlife Service established the Quivira National Wildlife Refuge. The Quivira roughly covers 22,000 acres of sandy grasslands and saltwater marshes. The marshes are fed by natural occurring groundwater springs along with man-made canals that weave throughout the refuge. This refuge is at a critical junction in the Central Flyway of North America. It provides forage and nesting for many wildlife species throughout the calendar year, such as many different waterfowl and game birds. The marsh attracts hundreds of thousands of ducks and geese every year. It also attracts many different types of shorebirds, such as the endangered whooping crane. It attracts many mammals to the area, such as white-tailed deer, coyotes, beavers, and many others. The refuge also drives the economy throughout the surrounding area. It brings people from all over the state for the prime hunting area. The Audubon Bird Watching Society brings money to the economy by bringing large amounts of visitors to the area. In 1993, the Rattlesnake Creek/Quivira Partnership was created by the residents around the creek and the government agencies. The goal was to develop and implement solutions to problems within the subbasin and maintain a sustainable water source in the subbasin. Nolan will now tell you about the perspective of the agriculture community.
The importance of water has long been known to the agriculture community. In fact, it is listed as one of the beneficial uses of water to the water management program. And as you can see in this graph, most of the water in Stafford County is used for irrigation. Irrigation is what drives the agriculture there because they do not have the same amount of surface water as you do in the eastern half of the state. And to the right, to the left, is an irrigation system. As you can see here, the stream flow chart, this is when it shows there's water that is flowing sometimes. And then whenever the stream bed is dry, it seems like that there's no water flowing, but there's still water, there's still a base flow from the aquifer that still provides water to Quivira. And a possible solution that farmers have come up with to Quivira is the removal of their end gun systems. The end gun doesn't really do much for the irrigation system as it doesn't water much. It mainly sprays roads and stuff. This is the Rattlesnake Creek Basin, and Quivira is up here. And as you can see, if they remove end guns mainly by the creek, it will go up by 5 feet. and the surrounding area is more like 2 feet. And then one of the big questions that farmers have is, why do we need to fill a stream that is an intermittent stream, which it does not flow every single year, and the water level changes year to year in that stream? And as Hannah will explain, what the school board is doing with Quivira.
According to a letter from Chad Fisher, USD 350's board president, to Noreen Walsh, the regional director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, St. John Hudson USD 350 benefited from a relationship with Quivira by using the organization as a tool to educate their students about the animals and plants of the South Central Kansas wetlands. While the educational impact of this relationship positively affected the students, the Board of Education felt like this was overshadowed by the negative impact of the impairment claim on the local economy. The district chose to cut ties with Quivira in 2018 because they felt that the 25 to 30% reduction in pumping for agriculture would lower production and reduce the tax base. The Board of Education suggested to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that they should consider the effects on the local community due to the impairment claim. They suggested more reasonable options, namely augmentation, instead of drastic reductions in water use. USD 350 understands the importance of the outdoors and would like to provide such education to future students. Ben will provide a possible solution, and with this solution, USD 350 hopes to rekindle their relationship with Quivira to continue to educate their students on the world around them while supporting the rest of the community.
So with all of this information that we have presented, we're looking at two choices. The first choice is what's more important, the economy standpoint of this entire portion of Kansas in which agriculture is the main power stripe of this land, or whether or not a small stream that flows that differs from year to year. Hopefully, the logical choice, the first choice, will be picked, because this county has gone through a dry spell in the last 3 years, and if another drought hits this year, they will not be able to survive, and that will have a negative impact on the agriculture not only in this county, but surrounding other counties as well. Our solution is to install an augmentation well field. This well field will provide base wells that will have a base water stream into this stream that will satisfy one side of the party. In turn, the cutbacks of this water supply for the farmers will be significantly less, and these farmers will be satisfied, and our economy will still be increased. As we develop this solution, we will work closely with members of the Groundwater Management District, Kansas Department of Agriculture, Quivira Wildlife Refuge, and local districts to work together and solve this issue. Thank you for your time.